Anyway, moving forward, Haris Rauf of Pakistan has had his central contract terminated after he basically told the PCB that he does not want to play the test matches in Australia. Now, Jarrod, a demotion of contract category makes sense to me. Hey, you were in central contract category B. You say you don't want to play test cricket, so we can't pay you as much money, so you can go to C or D or something of the sort. To terminate it is basically the PCB saying that, hey, our dick is bigger, and we are going to strong arm you, and we are going to make your life miserable by setting a precedent. And what they've really done is set the exact opposite precedent of what they would have wanted, because they're making players insecure, as they always do. And yeah, he is not even a red ball asset. Haris Rauf is a white ball asset. He has played 9 first-class games in his career. And in the one test match he played, he got injured. He didn't even finish it. So this makes no sense to me at all in a year where T20 cricket should be a priority anyway. So if Haris Rauf is saying that, hey, I've had a rough couple of months after the Asia Cup and the World Cup, ODI World Cup that is, I want to take a rest in this, test series, then go play the Big Bash and prep for the T20 World Cup. That sounds like a pretty good plan to me.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose when would the tests have finished, and when would the Big Bash have started?
Tests would have been ongoing, I believe, when the Big Bash would have started.
Yeah, so I suppose if he's willing to play in the Big Bash, they might say, well, why are you willing to play in the Big Bash and you're not willing to play here? When it comes down to it, like, he is going to make more money in franchise leagues probably than he will from Pakistan. And terminating a player of his level of fame and notoriety, as you said, can have a destabilizing influence.
Right before the PSL, mind you. That was the news that dominated.
Yeah. When did they ask? How long before the test series did they actually ask him to come out?
They would have asked him in the aftermath of the ODI World Cup, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. So
there wasn't a lot of weeks in between, by the way. Maybe like a couple or 3.
I think we both know he was signed up on the contract for white ball cricket for Pakistan, right?
Yep.
My question would be, was that made clear in the contract? Because if Pakistan need to be, and this isn't just Pakistan, there's lots of teams around the world that be like this. It's the Liam Dawson thing again. And I know Liam Dawson's slightly different because he's not centrally contracted, but it's a similar sort of thing of, okay, if you want me to come and play in a couple of matches, I need 1 year's worth of salary, and I'll be available to you at that time, but you need to pay me what I would be getting in the franchise leagues, not to play in the franchise leagues. And teams aren't quite willing to do that, right? Teams want loyalty towards them, but they're not always willing to give the loyalty on the other end. So was Haris Rauf getting paid to be a potential test player in his contract? My guess is no. My guess is he probably had a contract that was, you're a frontline bowler for us in the T20 team, you're a frontline bowler in the ODI team, that is what your wage is. And so suddenly he gets a call going, we need you to come play a test match. As you said, he's never played red ball cricket. He's not really all that known for it at all. If I'm a professional athlete, I'd be like, and I get offered jobs like, I think about myself personally. I sometimes get offered jobs with similar kinds of things. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that job very well. I don't know if I'm particularly well suited to it. I might look a bit stupid doing it, And, now I'm in a situation where it's not working for me. It's not working for you. And I've missed out on another job that I can do well.
Yeah, and they've put a stipulation on him that no franchise cricket till like July 2024. So they're saying, we won't give you a paycheck, but you can't get one elsewhere either. And Haris Rauf is 30, right? He doesn't have a lot of years left in the tank. He's a fast bowler, an express pacer. This makes absolutely no sense. If anything, it just goes on to show that the new PCB chairman, of course, we've had a new one, as you know, keeps happening. He just wanted to come and show people that, hey, look, I'm around. I've done something. Be afraid of me.
I mean, I don't know how the legal system works in Pakistan, but I think there's a few countries in the world where that is a lawsuit waiting to happen. And I think that's the problem with all these contracts is what they're doing. They are saying that you must work with us or work with no one else. That's restraint of trade in many different countries. And I've said this before, the no objection certificates, I don't think, I'm not sure that can last. I just don't think that whole system can last, which is a separate thing here. I'd love to see his PCB contract, right? I'd love it if someone leaked his PCB contract, and I would like to go through it line by line, because my guess is it would say something along the lines of, if we're desperate in a test series, can we ask you to play, right? Because I can't imagine it would say that we are contracting you for test matches. And if they're desperate, is it not okay for him to also say, I don't think I'm going to be doing this very well. I don't think my body's my body's great for T20 and ODIs. And this whole idea of why should he put his body on the line for a test series when he's actually being contracted for something else is very fair, right? Yeah. And then
also, Wahab should understand this, the chief selector. He gave up test cricket at a time where Pakistan did kind of need him, but we understood because he was old and he had, done his hard yards. But a fast bowler knows his body best, right? Or her body best. Yeah. So you kind of back them up on that.
Yeah, and just Haris Rauf, 4 years ago, had never made any money off cricket, right? And he's probably got, at best, 4 years of maximum earning left. And if he's lucky, 8 years of any earning at all, right? This is... I think it's an untenable situation, but this isn't just about Pakistan. We talked about this with Afghanistan and other countries have done similar things. I just think cricket is setting itself up to be sued, and they think this is their last card to play, whether it be the contracts or the NOCs. Those are the last cards that they can play. I'm like, I don't know. I find it icky, and if I'm more than happy. They want to release the contract that says in the contract, it said he had to make himself available for test matches as well. I think that's fine. But, I spend a lot of time talking to, county coaches and, selectors and, directors of cricket, general managers, all those sorts of things. They are very, very aware of where they are in the pecking order. And so they try and do deals with the players. Okay. We understand you can't play all this. This is what we want you to play, and this is what we want you to be available for. We're going to help you set up for this, but we're also going to prepare you for that series in the PSL or, that major league contract that you want, or whatever it may be.
Even if the PCB knew these things, they wouldn't do it because there is no proper medical care. You see these guys get injured, never come back the same. There is no players' union. There is no transparent communication. Exactly. The contracts are some of the least lucrative in all of, major cricket or at least test playing nations, top 8 or whatever. So it's not like they're giving Haris Rauf an amazing package that all of a sudden Haris Rauf is like, no, you know what? I will play that test match.
I had a chat with a cricket board a few years ago when they were interested in my views on how all this was going. And I said, I would sit down with every single cricketer and be like, what are you trying to do? Right? What do you want to play? How much money do you want to earn? Well, how much are you willing to push your body? How much are you willing to travel? How much time off do you want? Right? How much time do you want to spend with your family? And we're still not there. And we're in this weird situation where it just kind of all these different things clash, and then it's like, oh, we've got a contract, or oh, you've got an NOC, or we're gonna stop you earning anywhere else. And, what was the one that BCCI did about retirements? Like,
you have to have you can only play franchise cricket elsewhere if you've been retired for like a year or two, something like that.
Like
Rayudu got screwed over.
Yeah, and I understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to get him to stop retiring, going and playing in overseas leagues, and then coming back to the IPL, right? But the easier way of doing that is saying, once you have retired, if you've played in another league, you cannot play in the IPL for 2 years. It's a much better way of doing that. You're not stopping his income then. You're making him make a decision, right? Pick us, pick someone else, right? And I think that's a... you can bring these sorts of things in, but the whole thing's such a mess. We saw Matt Roller's article that came out this week. It's just, I don't think, and people got really upset, and I tweeted about it, and I can only imagine Roller going, oh, you guys hate the free market. Guys, the free market is as bad as the other system was. We are replacing one shit system with another shit system, and we still have the old shit system here. Right? I'm a historian. I can tell you that the original system of cricket was absolutely shithouse, right? But I can also tell you, as someone who's worked for these franchises, this current system is absolutely shithouse. It's double shithouse, right? Yeah. And so everything is going wrong. And, there is no organizational structure. No one's in charge. The owners are, pissing about. The administrators are pissing about. It's really, I feel sorry for a lot of these people that have to be involved in all this sort of stuff. But what was our last topic?
No, just to finish up on that, I foresee a lot of premature retirements now in cricket because people will want to, cut out the clutter altogether. And if they don't have that sense of security from their national board, they'll be like, okay, we're going to just go.
I don't think and people got really upset, like, and I tweeted about it, and I can only imagine Roller goes, "Oh, you guys hate the free market, guys." The free market is as bad as the other system was. We are replacing one shit system with another shit system, and we still have the old shit system here, right? Like, I'm a historian. I can tell you that the original system of cricket was absolutely shithouse, right? But I can also tell you, as someone who's worked for these franchises, this current system is absolutely shithouse. It's double shithouse, right? And so every